Hello, welcome to Intermediate GIS Applications for Real Estate. This is Yash Yadavalli and I'll be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. So in this presentation, this is sort of like a welcome to the course sort of a thing. We'll look at what is the syllabus, what's the class info, where to get your information from. Of course, that's Blackboard. And then we'll talk about your course structure, assignments, and we'll also look at what we will be learning in the next weeks. So the course objectives, by now you should have some understanding of GIS technology. You should have some background in GIS. So this course is a step up from that, where you'll be understanding the power of GIS, meaning you'll be able to apply your basics and take it to the next level, where you apply this knowledge in some kind of like an application, and you'll be able to formulate a project, understand where the data would come from, and see sort of like come up with your own project methodology, so to speak. And then you'll also create advanced mapping, advanced spatial analysis using a couple of extensions, especially spatial analyst and network analyst, where you'll be able to create qualitative and very attractive maps. And we'll also learn about project formulation and some management skills. So the main textbook is the GIS tutorial 2 spatial analysis workbook number 2. Although I'll be scanning some pages, maybe a chapter or so from the first book. If you have the first book, you can just follow that. Just one chapter, 1 or 2 chapters from this first book is what we'll be looking at. So, but our main focus is on the GIS tutorial 2, and that's what we'll sort of like finish off. We'll work through it, and we will essentially make sure that you get something out of this class at the end of 8 weeks. So the course structure is as follows essentially. We have to watch the mini lectures and lab sessions, or walkthroughs as I call it, and then you'll be posting some discussions on the Blackboard, which will be accounted for 5 points each, and then you'll have class assignments. This book is structured slightly differently. Unlike the first book, GIS tutorial 1, this each chapter is not associated with a assignment. This would have just the exercises. So you will be posting all your assignments. You'll finish all your tutorials and you'll just submit those tutorials as assignments. And then also you'll have a final project, which actually carries a lot of weight. It's about almost 25% of your grade, and of course it's pretty critical that you finish everything on time just before the class, which means you'll have a whole week to work on all these assignments and stuff. And to be honest with you about the final project, since this is such a big part of this course, I highly recommend you start formulating your final projects as we go within the first 2 weeks or so that you have enough time to work on it. So if you have a problem at work, or if you are trying to accomplish something, or if you have like working on a capstone or whatever that is, just make sure that you incorporate GIS into it and see if GIS can provide you with a better solution, so that we can sort of like work with a GIS application for that. This is going to be an individual project. I'm not going to be giving out instructions on how to do your projects. You'll have to come up with your own project outlines, and you'll be posting. You'll be the whole manager of the project. You'll formulate it, design it, and implement it all by yourself. And of course, I'll help you with any of the technical questions you might have, so be prepared for that. Also, this is how the course is laid out. In the week 1, we'll talk about week 1. This is a special case where we'll be sort of like completing a web module offered by ESRI on refreshing all our basics on GIS. Since some of you might have taken my course before or not, it doesn't really matter. You have to take this course and make sure you go through this and get like a certificate at the end of it, sort of like a course. I finished this course certificate and submit that as an assignment on Blackboard. And then week 2, we'll work through exercises 1 and 2 in tutorial 2 book, the main book, and then we'll learn about data collection and conversion and demographic data, and we'll talk about real estate data and in GIS. Also, in the 3rd week is pretty exciting, where we'll talk about spatial analyst extension. Pretty exciting extension, and creates this beautiful spatial maps, and we'll learn about site suitability analysis and mapping density. And week 5 is about network analyst, finding what's nearby, and that's a pretty crucial and important extension to learn. And then week 6 would be mapping change and measuring demographic distribution, which is extremely critical in a market analysis context. And then we'll be working on analyzing patterns and identifying clusters in exercises 8 to 9. And then this is when your final project proposals are due, so that you have 2 weeks at least to actually finish off this project. I would actually move it 1 week before that. By the end of week 5, I would say you should have a pretty good idea on what you're going to do, and then you can put that in words during week 6. And then week 7, we'll talk about GIS and real estate and review available tools, and we'll learn some of the current tools like community analyst, business analyst online, so that we can so these are our data sources, so we'll use these to actually create maps and analyze our deconstruct our problem. And then final projects, this is going to be a presentation. Each of the student have to actually make a PowerPoint of their findings of their project, and this will be a very structured presentation. Essentially, you'll have to come up with your problem. You have to explain what the problem is and how you use GIS, what steps, and you will actually show your work, essentially saying, okay, where did the data come from? You'll quote all your data sources, you'll list out all the methods that you have used, and you will actually show the model builder tool which you actually use to actually create this project, and you'll present your findings and show off your applications at the end of the course. So that's your course. It's a pretty exciting course actually. You'll learn a lot, and I'm here to guide you through it. So again, we know where all the stuff is. Blackboard, you'll find your syllabus, assignments, lecture notes, and you'll also find any course documents and all the communication discussion boards. Everything would be through Blackboard, even your grades. So the first step, hopefully you already have a machine with installed ARCGIS software from your class 1. If not, make sure you let me know that you need a evaluation code, and then I should send an evaluation code for since most of you already have an evaluation code, I don't need to resend it, but if you need it, let me know, and then I'm going to also follow the instructions at the end of the syllabus. When you download your syllabus, look at the last page for instructions, or you can just go to ESRI Student Edition for more instructions. Help and support, I'm always an email away. Send me an email or call me. My number is 513-328-6822, and let me write it down for you. It's 513-328-6822. Just give me a call in case of emergencies, but if not, just start with an email, so that I can respond to that, and we can probably set up sort of like a remote session for help. People who have taken my class before should already be familiar with this, where we use a software called Team Viewer, where I can see your screen and sort of like remotely help you with whatever issues you're having while working on the software. That's it. That's how you actually get hold of me and get some help. Moving forward, week 1, this is what I was talking about, where you actually finish an online course. So just click on this link and you'll get to this page where getting started with GIS 10 or for ARCGIS 10 is it's a web course offered by ESRI. It's a free web course. Just create an account if you don't have one with ESRI, and then you'll be able to essentially log in and go to this page where you'll have 3 modules where they'll explain what GIS is. Sort of like, you already know most of this stuff. It sort of brings everything together before you start this new course. We need to make sure your basics are good. So this is what you'll be doing for the first week, brushing up, dusting, refreshing your entire knowledge of GIS for one last time before we dive right into advanced analysis. So at the end of it, make sure your course evaluation, you finish your course exam, and then once you are done with this, you'll be given like a certificate, course completion certificate, and you can click on it like right here, certificate of completion, print that and submit it online. Okay, submit that on Blackboard. That's it, guys. Also, I'm posting a GIS overview presentation as slides in the Blackboard. Just browse through it when you get a chance, and then we'll talk about it later. Okay, thank you. See you all soon.